I barely start a video with a full face of makeup, but I thought let's just switch it up and I film the intro when I'm done with my makeup so that you know what to expect from this video. Probably will attract some more people than my uncooked potato face. In this video we are going to use the new LH Cosmetics Sparkle Liquid Eyeshadows, and I also have two of the quads that she has. I do have the Basic Elements and Shimmer Saga. And if you want to see how I get this look, keep on watching. Okay, since all of the shades or all of the products from LH Cosmetics that I want to use today are sparkly, shimmery, multi-chrome, iridescent fairy shades, I'm also pulling in the Viseart Grande Pro 1X. I have a swatch video over on my channel, but here it is in like full beauty. This is like my tried and trusted when I need some mattes to pull in, and that is what we are going to do, because I try to incorporate as many shades as possible from these two quads, which is Shimmer Saga and Basic Elements, and I also want to use maybe all three of the new Sparkle liquid shadows. So since I definitely want to incorporate the blue, it's screaming to be combined with LH. Yeah, this is LH from the Basic Elements palette. And then maybe, I don't know, some pink or passion, oh, I don't know. I would just do how I always do this. I'm just rolling with the flow and the creativity mode. But first I'm using Vanilla from the Viseart palette to set my lid. I usually would take my under eye setting powder, but since this palette just has so many powders to do so, I of course use one of the shades from Viseart. Question, how do you feel about Viseart? Because I don't know when this video is going to be up, but the Coyish palette has been released, which is marketed as a duochrome, but I saw the swatches and nothing is duochrome. But at the same time, now I'm very curious because I want to test out the Coyish palette against the Koi, which I also don't have, but I would love to buy this. There is this shop in Germany, it's called Boozy Shop. I think they are in the Netherlands, and they do have quite a lot of Viseart, and I put 3 palettes in my cart, but I haven't decided whether or not to buy this. I'm still a bit in between chairs because I'm officially on a no-buy, but at the same time, no-buy sometimes is not failed when you buy stuff. It can help, or at least help me, to make more mindful purchases. So the Viseart stuff I have in my basket in that shop for like 2 or 3 days now, and I haven't pulled the trigger yet because I was thinking back and forth. I think I have to watch a couple more videos on the Viseart shimmers, because all I tried from Viseart is actually this palette, and although I like it, it's also not a palette that, I don't know, it's nothing I could not have in other palettes. Don't get me wrong. It's nothing like special and super amazing and you are the one and only in my collection, but it's a versatile one. That is what I want sometimes. Since this whole look is going to be a little more blue toned and cool toned, I'm starting with this one. This is Tiffany Blue in the Viseart palette, and apply this as transition shade. And I've never been in Tiffany's, but I know the packaging, and this is not Tiffany Blue, isn't it? And I feel like even if it was, is that even allowed? Like, because as far as I know, Tiffany Blue is a trademarked or copyrighted, but it's like they have a patent? They have some claims on that color, let's just say that, because it's their specific color code for the packaging. So I'm now going in with Thistle, which is a nice cool toned purple to just deepen up the crease. I do want to take the time in this video while I prepare just to say thank you once more. In my Get Ready With Me that went up August 2nd, where I tested the Project Pan items that I'm currently using, I filmed that by the end of July, in the last week of July, and I was at, I think, 105 followers. And today, when I'm filming this, it's August 1st. You will probably see this video like 2 weeks in advance, and yes, that is how far I am like planning in the future with some videos. Not all of them, but some are quite heavy pre-recorded because I'm not full-time in this area. I do have a job, so I have to plan a bit better. But as of today, I'm at 158 followers here, or subs on YouTube. And again, when I filmed the video, it was like only a week ago, I was at 105. So the growth that I have on YouTube is insane. For example, compared on Instagram, Instagram is just a dead social media platform. It is what it is. I was affected by the restriction thing that was like 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago. And I feel like my profile has not recovered from that. I gain, I don't know, 1 follower every 2 days. But I lose 2 followers the other day. So it's like not really moving there, while on TikTok I have a constant grow, and here on YouTube it's like through the roof. I'm a little bit indecisive if I want to have much depth or if I want to leave it like that. You know what, we're doing a little bit of depth. So I'm taking this cobalt blue and I just apply the tiniest amount on the outer V area. That's enough of depth for this look. I don't want to like overshine the beautiful other products from LH Cosmetics by applying too much of a base. But at the same time, I swatched these already and I don't want to get them lost on my face. I don't know. Especially the eyeshadow quads, they have a very interesting texture because they're like gritty and powdery, but at the same time they go on quite smooth. So they were super easy to swatch, but they felt a little bit gritty on the fingers. Very interesting. So now for the fun part. We're starting with this one. This is Tease, and when I swatched it, Tease was not translucent, but it had a kind of transparent base to it. So here it is up close, but when I swatched it, I could see my skin showing through. So that's why maybe a bluish base on the outer corner is not the baddest, oh my god, the worst idea. It's 6 a.m. Is it 6 a.m.? It's 6:20. What I do now is I apply a bit on the other part and I just smooth it out with a shader brush, just like that. That's absolutely stunning. Like this shade, let alone not blended out, looks so pretty. I will do one more layer, but I see how this shade, let alone, could be a look. I'm now using the shade. This is called Flirt. There it is up close. It's kind of a muted, desaturated copper. And I will apply this on the inner part and tap that into the blue. They are very easy to work with. It's amazing. But again, they have more of a transparent base, but if you build them up, they can appear more intense. I mean, that could be a look. 100%. There is actually no need to go over this with another eyeshadow. This looks stunning as it is. But of course I will not. So I'm now using LH from the Basic Elements palette. Usually I would apply a glitter glue, but since we have these liquid shadows underneath, I hope it won't be necessary. I tap this on top of the blue. In my imagination, this will give a little more depth, intensity, variation, and it did. Oh my god, look at this compared to this. Let's repeat that on the other eye. Tap, tap, tap. So Basic Elements is not like translucent in the base. They have a color base, while the Shimmer Saga shades, you can already see they have a translucent base. So they will not go on as intense. And now for the rest of the lid, I'm using Love from the Shimmer Saga because this shifts from translucent to pink a bit, and I think that matches the rest of the lid. Alright, let's now use Love. And if you're wondering, I always flip my brushes because I'm lazy and I don't want to spot clean 265 brushes because I already use 245 brushes for the usual stuff. Let's place this on top. Ooh, okay. I feel like this did exactly what I wanted to. It intensified the Flirt shade and they kind of look very similar. Like it looks like Flirt is the liquid version of Love, which makes so much sense. Oh my god. But I have to admit that I'm not the biggest fan of this texture. It's very crumbly with a brush. I don't know if you can tell, but I have a lot of fallout, so if I use these the next time, I will definitely use a glitter glue. But what I do now before I clean up is I take a spoolie and I just flick the pieces off that are unwanted childs on my face. So let me do a part of my face makeup so that I can come back and we do the rest of the eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going back into Thistle from Viseart and I apply this on the lower lash line very close, like to the line. Does this look need a liner? I'm not sure. Maybe not, maybe that could be too intense. And I'm using now Tiffany Blue again. This shade looks so understated, kind of. But I use it quite often. I think Tiffany Blue is, in this palette, one of the shades that I use the most so far. And if you're now wondering why I know this, I'm an Excel spreadsheet lover, addicted person. And I do track the use of every single palette since this year. So I basically can see what shade I use, and I have, like, in that spreadsheet I have different pages like for every single brand, and then I made out of the cells inside the spreadsheet, I build the palette basically, and then I just write the number in there when I use it. So some of them have a 1 and some shades like have a 4 already in that pan, so that I know by the end of the year how many times did I use specific shades in a palette. And much more interesting is there a palette that I might have not used this year at all? And so far we have July. I started tracking this really in January with the first time I wore makeup this year. I haven't used the Natasha Denona Glam palette all year. I feel like I have, but I haven't. It's weird. The noise outside, they're picking up trash in the morning here. If you can bear with birds and with the horses, you can also bear the trash car. So my eyes look like this really nice, soft, grey, grunge, muted, blended out vibe. So now let's do the inner corner highlight, and of course I want to use Delish. Just look at the close-up of this shade. I have no idea if you can tell on camera, but if I look really close up, I see like holographic sparkle in there. So it's not only that pink base, I can see some silver and blue sparkle specks, which makes the shade just so stunning. And since I want to use this as my inner corner highlight, I'm picking a brush now. If you have been looking for the perfect like brush for your inner corner and you haven't found it yet, I highly recommend get lip brushes. It's a lip brush. This is the most clever thing I ever did. I mean, come on. This is a beautiful shade. Bold statement, even if I would use this shade just as inner corner highlight for the rest of my life, that would justify the purchase. So this is now 2 layers. Imagining this all over the lid. That would be divine. But I want to use another shade from these, but I think Basic Elements would not match the vibe. This is too intense, so we're using Shimmer Saga and I don't know, Crush or Success. I think I will use Success. Success is one of those shades with this transparent base that shift into gold. So if you can see the difference here, I applied Success on top and here I didn't. Completely unnecessary, so that was a total optional step, but I just wanted to use another shade from the quads. We skip liner, I will finish the face and then come back with some final thoughts. So very quick thoughts. These SPARKL liquid eyeshadows, fantastic. I'm absolutely stunned. I'm not a liquid eyeshadow girl, but I'm kind of getting into it, and after I tried the Pat McGrath ones, I really wanted to try these and I love them. Are they worth €27 each? Kind of not. They do have a set that gives you like 20% discount if you buy them all 3 in one, but at the same time, I'm like, get them on a discount somewhere else. Maybe not on the website, get them in the retailer that has LH Cosmetics and maybe you get a good discount. I think nearly €30 is a tiny bit too much for those. So the quads, each retail for over €40, I think 42 or something like that. I think it's a bit too much, I'm honest with you. The outcoming look is absolutely stunning and I really love the shades. Like, they are a bit crumbly, so I recommend using a glitter glue. I had a lot of fallout from the Shimmer Saga stuff, not so much from this one. No, other way around. This is Shimmer Saga, this is the other one. So this gave me fallout, this not. But still, I think 46 euro is each, or 42, something like that. The 9-pan palettes aren't the same price range, but you get more than double the shades with some ads, but I didn't pick these up because they had like mediocre reviews. I think they're okay, but not worth the price, I'm honest with you. Have you tried anything from LH Cosmetics? Because I also have the Powder Puff, and that one I really like. Again, it's also quite pricey with 13 or 14 euro, but I like it, I really do. And I was not a Powder Puff girl, I wanted to be, so that's why I picked up this specific one, and I do love it. But what do you have from LH Cosmetics? Do you even know the brand? Because I kind of got sucked into the brand from a German YouTuber. I never heard about them before, and now I'm like in between chairs. Like on one side, I think they're a bit overpriced for what they sell, but at the same time, I'm kind of excited to see where the brand is going, because I feel like Linda Hallberg, as the creative mind behind the brand, has some really nice visions of makeup. And that's it so far, so thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.